Hello, my famous friends, and welcome to Fame Ready, the podcast to show you that anything is possible. And yes, this episode is coming out on Christmas Eve, so I am doing things a little bit differently today because it doesn't really feel quite right to be launching into um, tips, tricks, hacks. None of that strategy. We don't need that. It's Christmas Eve. And although I'm spending Christmas Eve having like a beautiful, quiet evening in my house with my family, I know for some of us it can be quite busy. It can feel like we're giving a lot of ourselves to other people. And what I really love about this season, about the holiday season, whether you celebrate Christmas or something else, it's the fact that Christmas really enables us to like experience magic, right? And I mean, maybe you're like, okay, there's nothing magical about the holiday season, Katrina. I'm busy, I'm stressed, I'm tired. I would encourage you to think a little bit differently. I think there's so much amazing magic that's kind of created during the season when we have time to celebrate love and to rest and to reflect on all of the amazing things that we created in the last year as we enter a new one. And that's what I want to do today. And this is inspired by the fact that earlier today I was on a call in the mentorship program that I'm a part of, Living in Balance. And on that call, we had the opportunity to just write down all of our wins from the last year. And that was pretty cool. I feel like I've had a lot. I wrote them all down. I don't even know that this is like that comprehensive, but what I wanted to do today was I wanted to speak them out loud. I wanted to tell you what my wins were and what they meant for me or meant to me in hopes that it'll inspire you as you dream and vision and set your goals for 2026. It's really funny. I was talking about this. I was just hosting a masterclass where I was talking about this, and then I was also just posting a lot of content about this recently because the Taylor Swift Eras Tour documentary has come out, at least the first couple episodes, and I really didn't want to watch it because I knew it was going to make me feel a certain way. Okay. Not because I'm a Swiftie and I'm sad because I didn't go and actually see the Eras tour. And not because I don't like Taylor Swift. I really respect and admire her. And I mean, they do call me the Taylor Swift of PR. So there's that. But I didn't want to watch it because I know how badly I so deeply crave fame, just for lack of a better sentence. I've lived my whole life wanting to be famous, feel famous, the whole thing. And this last year has been the closest I've come to it. I feel famous for my work every single day. And, I've got to experience a lot of things in the last year that I didn't know that I could ever experience. And it's been really powerful. And I ended up obviously giving in to watching Taylor Swift because why wouldn't I? And as I watched this documentary, I realized how important it was for me to watch her and watch this because by watching her do something that not many people have, by watching the interviews with her dancers, with her team, every single person said this is everything I've ever dreamed of, but I never imagined it could happen to me. And I think that is so powerful for every single one of us to hear. I think amazing things can happen to each and every one of us if we take the action steps towards them. So I have this sheet of paper, lots of writing on it, and it is my wins for 2025. And they kind of span all categories. And I figured I would just share them here. I mean, it's my podcast. I can do what I want. But by sharing my wins And I'm going to tell you a little bit about each one, about what it meant to me to be able to do this, who I had to become. Like, I have not planned this at all, you guys. So I don't really know what's about to come out of my mouth, but I'll give you context for each one. And my plan or my goal in doing this is that you really see what's possible for yourself as I walk you through this. So let's just get into it. Okay. Um, so my first one, and I'm going to do this kind of all over the place. I want to start like kind of like not business related. So my very first one, my very first win from 2025 that I'll share is I got a gym membership and I actually use it. And I think, I've always been like relatively fit. I mean, I used to be a yoga instructor. I've always done like fitness in some capacity. Like I used to do reformer Pilates. I've gone to a personal trainer once a week for quite a few years now. And that always kind of felt like enough. But I knew, like, as I kind of stepped into this new version of myself, this elevated, this person with more responsibilities who, really needs to prioritize her health, her body, how she feels. I knew it was time for me to invest more time into my health and wellness. So I got a gym membership, which I haven't had a gym membership in like 5 or 6 years. And I'm really proud of myself because I consistently go like 2 to 3 times per week. Okay. So I'm not here to convince you of like me going to the gym at like 5 a.m. every single day, but I go enough that like it makes me feel really good about how I'm taking care of myself. Also gives me an outlet, like, to kind of relieve stress and tension and to connect back to my body. Obviously, I'm not here to like just sell you on the health benefits of going to the gym. We know all of those things. But when I think about the version of me that is this like personal brand that's highly paid to speak on stage and be in the media, she is someone who really takes care of herself. And going to the gym and being able to do so consistently and actually make time for it has been a big one. And I'll have you know, okay, I go to the gym at like 11 a.m. on a Tuesday. Like I don't go at the 5 o'clock rush. I don't go like first thing in the morning. Yeah, I've just found like how to integrate fitness into my routine in a way that works for me and feels really good. So that's a fucking win. So hell yeah. Okay, my next one. I hosted 5 sold out female entrepreneur and golf events. So obviously, you guys know about Big Brand Energy sessions. I did kind of two events in tandem with each other. Like through the fall, I hosted a bunch of female golf events kind of in my other life over this last year as well. And I hosted a sold out launch party for my podcast. And I was someone who was like, I'm never going to run event. Like, why would I ever put myself through that? Like, I used to run events in my corporate career. I found it very stressful, but something about this business and where it's taking me has helped me find a creative outlet in event planning. And that's something I was really excited to experience. This year, and just being able to fill a room. And you guys have listened to the podcast episodes. So you know that I like spiraled a little bit before each one. Like, were people going to show up? Were the tickets going to sell? Where was I going to get sponsors? Was I going to lose money? All of those things. But I never let it stop me. And I made a profit off each one. So that actually, I need to add that in here because that's a big deal as well. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't make money off your events. Okay. Because you totally can. Okay. The next one. I started writing a book. As of right now, the manuscript is with the editor for like developmental editing. So she's reading the whole thing to find any like places that need more context or content. If there's anything that like doesn't need to be included that's irrelevant, she really is like making sure the book is as complete as possible because I've done as much as I can do, and I really need like a second set of eyes to like read it through. And she's not someone that knows me at all, so doesn't know my story or like anything. So she's going to be able to go through this whole thing and just be able to say like, okay, this is where I need to learn a little bit more. This is where I need you to dive in, give me a little bit more juice. So I'm really excited to have that experience and get that back very soon. But writing the book was something that like I never actually thought I would do this year. Um, yeah. I met with so many different book coaches over the last year, not because I had the intention of writing a book, but because I had just kept getting connected to book coaches who wanted to like maybe be a referral partner or a relationship. So I had this conversation so many times. And it was when I was in New York City in August and I met the team at selfpublishing.com where I was like, these are the right people to help me. And the time is now. And that was in August. I started writing at the end of September and I've already sent off a fucking manuscript, you guys. That's insanely fast. That tells you everything you need to know about me, okay? Like I am just like whew, off to the races anytime I get an idea or am inspired. So how cool. Okay, let's do a different one. Gabriel and I took 5 trips together. We went to so many different places. We went to the Sunshine Coast for New Year's last year. We went to Mexico with some friends of ours and stayed in like an all-inclusive. And that was not something that either of us had done in a very, very, very long time. We went to New York City. He came along with me when I got to have my kind of experience of a lifetime. We went to Orlando, Disney World, Universal Studios. Honestly, it was so fun. And then my family, my parents actually visited in the Okanagan, so we got to spend a week with them and also some of my childhood friends, which was really cool. And it's been really powerful to go on this journey of building this business alongside Gabriel because he's finding a different pace in life too. It was not very long ago when it would have been like pulling teeth to get this man to like take a summer vacation. And he took 2 within like a month of each other, which is crazy. And it's just like really gratifying to be able to be creating this business that allows him and I to like have a bigger life together and for him to like come along to some of these different speaking engagements that I have and just like be a part of it. Very, very cool. And it's just obviously brought him and I closer together as well. So that's a big one. I can play golf like a badass. Mic drop. That's all I've ever really wanted was to be able to like play a sport really well. And last winter, I practiced throughout the winter. I went to the driving range every single weekend in rain and snow and slush. It wasn't always pretty, but I really held myself accountable to becoming a good golfer. And now I can like sign up for charity tournaments. I can sign up for like, different like women's groups and just confidently go into the experience and enjoy it because my game is finally at a place where I feel really good about how I can play. I know I can like walk up to the tee and have a good drive. I know I'm going to finish the round and be like, you really did that. I know like I end up impressing a lot of people that I play with. Not that that's what it's about, but I mean, obviously that's an amazing part of it. So that's something I'm very proud of was my commitment to the sport. And obviously right now people keep asking me like, are you playing a lot of golf these days? How's the golf going? And I'll be so honest and say like, I haven't seen my golf coach since like the spring. And the last time I played golf was, I think, October, and it went well, but I haven't really been practicing. And I just think there's different seasons of life for everything. And the season I'm in right now, obviously, a lot of my time on the weekends was for writing my book. And I've shifted into some other healthy habits like taking care of myself, you know, trying to do more stretching, more rehabilitation, more recovery, because I've realized how much stress my job, my work puts on my body, and not really in this like bad, hard way, but in a way where all of these things that I do, speaking on stage, even recording this podcast, doing Zoom calls, different meetings, those all put pressure on our body and create stress. And even if it's like good stress, even if these are like great things that are happening to us, our body still needs to recover from these things. And that's really what I've been learning about myself is that a lot of the time when I start to feel unwell or have a headache, it's actually just because my nervous system has crashed out. So I unfortunately haven't been playing a lot of golf just given my time and space constraints, but I do know that it's something that I'll be coming back to um, when the weather warms up. Because, like, come on, I also live in the Pacific Northwest. Okay, let's not pretend that it's like so like warm and sunny and enjoyable to play golf at this time of year because it's so not. Okay, how about this one? I spoke at 10 events across the continent. Katrina in December 2024 could only dream of speaking at events across the continent. She could only dream. She really like that's what all that she really wanted was to be able to speak on stage and fly around the world. Actually, I'll just include this other win that's on here in this, which was I took 15 trips this year. Some of them were work related. A lot of them were work related. Some of them were relaxing, fun. I mean, I got to go to Hawaii with a girlfriend. I got to spend lots of time in cozy cabins with Gabriel and my family. But I got to do a lot of traveling for work and for speaking and like more of that in 2026. That really is what I envision my life and career unfolding as. So I'm really excited to be doing that this year. And I mean, 10 events, like that's so cool. And my keynote speech has obviously gone through many different evolutions as well, which is a really cool thing to experience also, right? It's like, I created this talk last spring and it's really evolved as I've evolved. And now my next speaking gig where I'll deliver a full keynote is at the end of February. And I'm not even really sure like what that talk is going to be yet, because I've become a different person in the last few months and how I talk about my work has changed. So I'm gonna have to really feel into that one and see what I'm gonna share. Um, and that's the other thing. I get paid to travel and speak. Like, come on. I get paid to travel and speak. And so much of that is through brand partnerships, which leads me into this other one. I've made $30,000 from brand partnerships since September. That's like not that's more than my monthly revenue. Yes, if you're listening to this and you're a longtime listener, I'm still trying to hit my $30,000 revenue month. I actually think it's happening this month. So stay tuned. That's my Christmas wish. Okay. It's December 18th. We still got a couple weeks to go. So make my wish come true, Santa. Um, but it's so cool because I've been able to like I mean, I've burnt down my agency to the floor and now I've created this new business that pays me even more for these things that I love doing. Um, I get to work with brands like Adobe Acrobat, selfpublishing.com, brands that I could have only dreamed of working with even a year ago. Like, or not even. I didn't dream of working with a brand like Adobe because I felt too small to do that. Imagine. And now, like, I get to work with them on a very consistent basis. They invest in me. They pay me for my content, my audience, my personal brand. They invite me to go to their conferences and pay for me to go and be there and pay for me to speak in front of audiences. I got to do a masterclass where there were 600 people signed up and I got paid to do it. Incredible. Really, really incredible. And I don't take any of that for granted, but that's a win that I just like feel so deeply because I'm like, wow, I had no idea that that's what was in store for me this year. And like that was really cool. How about this one? I was on a billboard in Times Square. You know what's annoying me about this actually, though, because I have this amazing reel that I posted from that experience and Instagram took it down. I don't know why. And I went through this whole rigmarole weeks long trying to get them to reinstate it because I can't even see like in the back end. It doesn't show me that I have any violations. It doesn't show me that any content has actually been taken down. None of it. It just disappeared. And then they like randomly like, closed my case. So I'm trying to decide how to broach that one. I think I just have to like reshare it. Um, yeah, which I'm not really excited to do because the engagement and the response like really popped off, but I'm gonna have to find a way to like bring it back because like that reel deserves like a permanent place on the feed. And I'm pissed off that Instagram took it down. But yes, I was on a billboard in Times Square. So freaking like, let's just, and I mean, now I've told you guys about my Instagram debacle. So when you see me repost it, you'll know why. What else do we got here? I spent a week with my family in the Okanagan. I think maybe I mentioned that, but that was really cool to be able to just, I mean, all of the travel. The fact that I can literally just say, yeah, I want to go there. And then I can go there. And usually I can fly business class to go there. That's so cool. That's so cool. Oh, it's like, what a gift. Like, what a gift to be able to create a business that allows you to just go anywhere you want to go at any time. And if my family is like, hey, we're going to spend a week in the Okanagans, please stay with us. Please, like, we're going to go on wine tours on a Wednesday. We're going to, like, play golf on a Tuesday afternoon. I can just do those things and it doesn't affect my income and I'm not tied to a desk. All of those things. Like, beautiful. What a gift. And when I ran an agency, it was not like this. Okay. When I ran an agency, I was literally like, I created a corporate job for myself. So I didn't have the flexibility. If I went places, like I remember one of the first trips I took to New York, I had so much work to do. Like while I was on that trip, and like not to be like, well, I have so much work to do, but like I couldn't even really like enjoy myself because any waking moment that I had to myself, I had to be working on client work and meeting deliverables and making sure things got done. And so now the fact that I can actually like take appropriate time off and actually like my work doesn't have this same urgency anymore. What a gift. Such a beautiful transformation of my business. And I think what I really want to like dig into is just if you're listening to this and you're someone who has a business that takes up a lot of your time physically and you're like, how do I make a business that takes care of me? I'm in this really amazing mentorship program called Living in Balance, and I'll just like link it in the show notes. But that really is the space where I've been able to create a self-managing business where I can put myself first. I put my entire self, my health, how I feel, what I really want to do, my relationships. I get to put those first, and the business doesn't suffer. And that's because of the work that I've done in that space. So if that's something that you're feeling like you need more of, I invite you to check it out. And I can always make an introduction to one of my mentors. So just send me a DM if it's a space you're interested in once you take a look at the website, and I can set up a call so you can see if it is the right space for you. And let's see, I think I just have one more, which is this. I wake up every morning feeling like I'm doing exactly what I should be doing. And that really is like the most profound piece of this all. I am so deeply connected to my purpose and my mission and like what I've been put on this earth to do. I am now doing that. And for me, having a long corporate career where I didn't feel like I was doing that was really challenging because I remember like waking up during my corporate career and I'd think to myself, like, is this it? Like, is this all I get to do? Like, I just wake up and I do a job I'm like not that passionate about just to make money, just to make enough money to make ends meet. And then we just our Groundhog Day over and over again. And now I do this work that has like such a profound impact on people's lives. Like one of my clients is about to get a TED Talk. Another one is planning an event for her book launch of 500 people. And another one is sending emails for like a very amazing brand partnership. It's really cool. It's really cool. And this is all because of what I've created and this work that I've done to create a business that is just fully embodied me. Me being fully like, this is what I'm doing. This is how I help you, and trusting that this actually is my gift, because it can feel a little bit like it's a lot, right? To think to yourself, I'm going to not only go after my wildest dreams, but help everybody else do it too. The Katrina a couple years ago would have felt like that was a very, very big promise to make people. But the Katrina Owens now is just like, hell yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And so that's really cool. And I think that must be the biggest win of all, right? Is me cultivating the trust in myself to bring all of my wildest dreams to life, to do the things that not everyone is willing to do. Earlier today, I ran my red carpet year masterclass, and that was what we talked about. Like, not everyone is willing to do the things that need to be done to bring your wildest dreams to life, because it usually involves taking a risk. It usually involves doing it scared, feeling uncertain about the process. But God, when I tell you that is where the magic happens, it totally is. So those are all my wins. Wow. Did we really get through them that quickly? I can't remember if I read the one that says I grew my group program to almost 30 people. I'm feeling like I didn't say that one. But I guess that just goes hand in hand with me waking up every day doing exactly what I meant to be doing, right? I grew my group program to almost 30 people who are vehemently going after their own dreams. Who is she? How cool is that? So, my wish for you during this holiday season is that you feel inspired by this, or maybe there's other people who you admire who are doing the things that you'd like to do. And I really hope you let yourself see just how possible all those things are for you, because they like really, really are. Um, Anything that you can dream of, that you feel called towards, is meant for you, if you're willing to take like the scary actions, the inspired actions to get there. So I share these wins because holy shit, 12 months ago, I never would have imagined that this is what I created. I just had no idea that this is what was in the cards for me. And I'm so proud of all of this. But oh my God, you guys, you aren't even like ready for what's in store in 2026. So please, 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 my Christmas wish, the only thing on my list this year is if you listen to this podcast and you love it. I know there's a lot of you that listen week over week and you tell me how much you love it, and you tell me what content you want to hear. Please rate and review this podcast wherever you listen. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts. This ensures that this podcast gets in the hands of more people. So please do that. Please follow me at Katrina Owens PR on Instagram. You can follow the podcast at Get Fame Ready. And thank you so much for being here, for joining me, for listening week over week. I cannot wait to see what magic you create in 2026. Merry Christmas if you celebrate. Happy holidays. I love you all so much. Oh, it's making me emotional just saying that. Thanks for supporting me on this journey. It's pretty powerful stuff. Okay. Toodles.